You stood next to Shoto, giggling a bit as you watched him do Kaminari's little challenge. His task was to figure out among 3 cups of brown liquid which one was soba noodle soup. The cups contained either coffee, soba noodle soup, or throat medicine, and Todoroki could not smell or taste before picking his answer. He paused for a bit, thinking, before he started to drink the cup with the throat medicine. He ended up spitting it out, his face scrunching up in disgust. And it got all over your clothes. His face flushed in embarrassment as he looked down, fidgeting. Sorry. Little did he know that all your thoughts were about how adorable he looked right now. You shook your head, petting him. It's fine. That was your medicine, by the way. He looked at the cup in his hand, frowning slightly, mumbling something under his breath. You couldn't hear what he was saying, but you could tell that he was upset. So you decided to offer him some comfort and pet him. He was like a cat, always happy to cuddle and be spoiled. It was so cute in your opinion. Todoroki immediately relaxed into your touch and melted into it before shyly pulling away. When he noticed others staring at the both of you, we should go back. You need to change, Todoroki mumbled. Well, to be honest, it was just you who had to go back. But you didn't mind him tagging along. He was probably a bit embarrassed and wanted to be alone for a bit. You nodded and grabbed his hand gently, leading him back to the common room while smiling at Kaminari, who actually was recording the whole thing for you to see later. You really wanted to watch it. His expressions were truly adorable, and as a Todo-san, you wanted to treasure each and every one of them. Once you got back to the common room, you let go of his hand, but that didn't help wash away the faint blush in your face. I'll go change, okay? Wait here. He nodded, quietly looking around as he fidgeted with the hem of his shirt. You hurried back to your dorm, changing into a comfortable cute shirt. Your pants were thankfully safe from what happened a few minutes earlier. When you went downstairs, you found Todoroki frowning a bit at the soba he bought earlier. He looked deep in thought, and he really did look like a small kid sometimes. It was so difficult for you to say no to him. He turned his head and quietly asked, "Could I have some soba?" And damn it, he really wasn't leaving a room for you to say no to him. Not when he was being this cute. You gave in and nodded, smiling a bit. "Do you want to watch?" He hesitated for a bit, then nodded slowly. Could you teach me how to make it?" he asked. And once again, you couldn't say no to that face. Not to mention that you were really proud of him, that he was trying to learn how to make it himself. "Sure," you grinned, and he couldn't help but blush slightly, giving you a tiny smile. It made everything worth it. You slowly began showing him the steps, letting him join you when you could, praising him when he got it right. It was a slow process, and the others were probably going to question where you were later. But it was the least you could do to him after he had to drink the right medicine. He was a bit messy and hesitant, but you were patient with him, and he, in turn, mumbled the shy things to you. It still baffled you how shy he was sometimes. He was extremely confident on the battlefield, but when it came to relationships, not so much. You knew why, but still, you couldn't help but be surprised by it at times. It was endearing though, as most things about him were. When you were both done, you sat down next to each other. You turned on the TV, leaning your head on his shoulder. It brought a small blush to the both of you, which made you poke his cheek, smirking. "You're blushing, Cutie." It only made him blush brighter, but that was exactly what you had wanted. He looked away, faking a small pout. I'm not a cutie," you laughed, ruffling his hair, and he couldn't help but melt into the warmth of your touch, just like a kitten would. "See? Just like I said, you're a cutie." He closed his eyes too, letting out a soft sigh, a fond smile creeping onto his face. "You're a cutie too, Anne."